Okay, so now let's take a look at something like number 12. It says, identify the equation line graph below. Prove by converting. So tell me something you know about this line right away. Tell me something you know about the slope.
Negative.
Gotta have a negative slope. Now, the problem over here is that I don't know what any of their slopes are because they're all in standard form. So you have two options. You could rewrite every single one of these into y equals mx plus b, or we could save ourselves a little bit of time and just focus on the slope. We might be able to get the answer just based off slope. Do you remember, if it's in standard form, without going through all the steps, you could just do negative a over b to find the slope? Remember talking about that? So for a, I would just do negative 2 over 1. So this one has a slope of negative 2. So maybe it's a. Well, actually, I can tell right now that it's not a, is it? Because what is the slope of this thing? Not only is it going to be negative, I know what it is. What is it? How many boxes? Just pick two nice points, right? So it doesn't have the dots, but you can add the dots. There's a nice point right there. There's a nice point right there. There's a nice point right there. How do you get from one to the next? Down 1 to the right 2, which means that I'm looking for a slope of negative 1/2. So although a, it was negative, it's not the right negative. So a is out. Let's try b. If I do negative a over b, that would be negative 2 over negative 1. That's positive 2. That's definitely not right. Let's try c. I'm going to come over here because I'm running out of room. Negative 1 over 2. Hey, that's looking good. Let's just check what d is. D is negative 1 over negative 2, which will be a positive 1/2, so I know it can't be D. So I saved myself a little bit of time just by focusing on the slopes. But if you don't like that, or if you don't remember the shortcut, the negative a over b, fine, just rewrite them into y equals mx plus b form. And it should work out. Okay? Let's jump now to the intercept section, 14 and 15. These are really easy if you remember what to do. How do you find the x and y intercepts? Does anybody remember? Uh-oh. Oh, no. This is a lot of balancing. Okay. It's all right. I'll tell you. To find the x-intercept, you plug in 0 for y. You just plug in 0 for the opposite variable. So if I want to find the y-intercept, you plug in 0 for x. That's it. So let's do 14 together. So if I want to find the x-intercept, plug in 0 for y. So it's 4x minus 0 equals 4. Solve this, right? This was also, we talked about the cover-up method. Do you remember that? Divide both sides by 4. And you get x is 1. So my x-intercept is going to be at 1. So I like to write it as an ordered pair. 1 comma 0, right? Because we plugged in 0 for y. Now let's find the y-intercept. And I find that by plugging in 0 for x. So that would be 0 minus y equals 4. So I get negative y equals 4, which means that y is going to be negative 4. So again, I'll write it as an ordered pair. This time I plugged in 0 for x, and I got out negative 4. All right, so there are my two intercepts. The cover-up method, real quick, just to refresh your memory on that. If I wanted to find the x-intercept, you cover up the one that you don't need, right? Oh, here, let me try and do this so you can actually see it. So see how I get 4x equals 4? X must be 1. So boom, you get right there. And then when I want to find the y-intercept, I cover up the x. And I have negative y equals 4, which means that y should be negative 4. And that checks. All right? So intercepts, really easy if you know what you're doing. Horizontal and vertical lines. Another one that's easy if you know. Remember our cute little Hooyvuks? So if I have y equals 2 and I have to graph it, tell me what the graph looks like. Show me with your hands. What should this look like? Y equals 2. Show me with your hands. Yeah, look at Hooy-Vux, right? If it's y equals, that's telling you, oh, it's a horizontal line at -2. That's it. So I just come down to -2 and I draw a horizontal line. Right? That's all there is to it, if you know how Hooy-Vux works. So just for the sake of the video, Hooy-Vux, the first letter tells you if it's horizontal or vertical. The middle letter talks about slope. So the slope of this line would be 0. The slope of this one, U, is for undefined. And then the last letter is the equation. It's either y equals or x equals. You're only ever dealing with Hooy or Vux. It's not like mix and match. It's one or the other. All right? So, and we can use that for everything, horizontal and vertical. All right, jump down to topic 6. Writing linear equations given a point and a slope, or 2 points. So for this, you have to know point-slope formula, which is here. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And furthermore, because I noticed on this past quiz, some of you don't know what to do with this. These are the numbers you plug in. The slope, and then it's an ordered pair, x1, y1. That's what gets plugged in. Everything else is just going to stay. Right? So let me just zoom in for the video here real quick. All right, so let's try number 18 together. They gave us a point, and they're giving us a slope now. That's x1, y1, and that's your slope. So I just use the formula, and I plug in these 3 numbers, this, this, and this. That's it. So by minus -7 turns it into a plus. Slope is 3. X minus -4 turns it into a plus. That's it. If they tell you that your final answer has to be in slope-intercept form, that's y equals mx plus b, fine. I'm still going to start here. So if they don't say, you can leave it, right? If they just say write the equation, you're done. If they say that it has to be in slope-intercept form, okay, just distribute the 3. And then minus the 7 over. See? It's not so bad. You get 3x plus 5. Either one. These two are equations of the same exact line. Oh, sorry. There you go. Same exact line. It's just going to depend. And I'm glad, right? Because with our midterm coming up on Thursday, those of you that were taking the quiz, just because I don't know if I told you this already. We're testing tomorrow, and then our midterm is Thursday. So we're reviewing right now for tomorrow's test. We'll review on Wednesday for the midterm Thursday, because we don't have school Friday. So we want to get it done, and then you won't have to worry about it over the 3-day weekend. All right, anywho, moving right along here. So let's turn to, what's next? Writing the equation given 2 points. Let's do that. So let's turn to something like number 20. If they're just going to give you 2 points like this. Hold on. Okay. You still have to find the slope. They didn't give it to you. So that's step 1. You have to find the slope and then use point-slope form. Okay? So formula for slope. Remember, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And let's make sure that you put it in correctly. So this would be y2 is -2 minus -9, means it turns into +9. Downstairs, x2 is 4 minus -3, so again it turns into a plus. It won't always turn into a plus, just when you're subtracting a negative. So up top we get +7, on the bottom we get +7. +7 over +7 is just 1. All right, once you have the slope, then you pick one of these 2 points. It literally doesn't matter which one. I always pick the one just with the smaller numbers. But it does not, just pick one of them. Don't mix them together. Just pick one and stick with it. And now you're using this formula, the point slope one. So if you don't know these formulas, I'm going to tell you again, make some flashcards. If we have time at the end of class today, I'll even help you. I have some flashcards I can give you. All right, so y minus -2 turns into plus. Our slope is 1. x minus 4. That's it. If they force you to write this in slope-intercept form, fine. You distribute the 1. So I'll just do that over here. Distribute the 1. And then minus the 2 over. Okay? I don't know if they're going to ask you to or not, but if it's multiple choice, like on the midterm, the choices might all be in slope-intercept form, right? Okay, now let's, actually, I'm going to stop this video and I'll make a part 3.